Topic to discuss. It is one we certainly cannot ignore.
1 in 5 American women have experienced a sexual assault or an attempt at one in their lifetime. 1 in 5. And in the majority of assaults, it's someone they know. And that's according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. Licensed clinical social worker Kelly Kitley joins us now to talk a little more about this. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You've been open, Kelly, about your own experience. Do you mind sharing a little bit of how that informs how you see things now?
Sure. So I was a junior in college studying to become a therapist in Chicago and was attacked as a random act of violence on the streets of Chicago. It was at 8 o'clock at night, and it was the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me. And through my healing process, being able to share my story and empower other survivors has really been my mission.
And the fact that you've been able to empower and help so many people to realize they're not alone is so important. For many victims, shame is a big part of this, and maybe not sharing their story or telling people. Talk about what role shame plays and how we can help people who are struggling with that.
Sure. So oftentimes shame is associated with fear that maybe you did something wrong or that you could have done something differently. And so a lot of times people live in silence because they're afraid. And many clients that I've worked with maybe come forth years after the assault, and some come forward right away to seek professional services. But oftentimes they live in silence, and it just exacerbates symptoms.
We had up on the screen, which I think we should bring up again, some things you can do to try to cope with that.
Sure. So oftentimes I will have my clients write about their experience to be able to process that in a safe place. And then being able to share with just one person that can make all the difference in the world, and somebody that you trust. And certainly there are support groups as well as individual psychotherapy.
What should people keep in mind to stay safe in the first place? I know it's, you can't always, you were attacked randomly on a street. You can't always protect yourself, but what can you do?
So something that I think really empowers people, both men and women, is taking a self-defense class to feel like you do have some control if you were in a situation. If you're at a party, most college kids might not want to leave their drink unattended, and certainly not leave a party alone. Have a buddy system and make sure that you're leaving with somebody.
Another tip there, don't walk alone at night, which goes along with that. For those who've experienced this and are struggling with it, what are some of the best resources out there for them?
Sure. So we know that college students are at highest risk, and community counseling centers off campus as well as on campus, students can seek services. And oftentimes these services are for free. If you are a victim of sexual assault, please make sure to go to the emergency room so that you can make sure that you're medically okay first and foremost.
Something I've reported on just quickly, people sometimes think it's too late if they don't say something right away. If they don't go and do a police report or go to the hospital and be checked right away, they might think, I can't do it now. Can you still get help years, months, years after something?
Years, absolutely. And I think the message I want to send is that there are so many resources in communities, and you don't have to pay for them. And there are a lot of people who want to support you. So please don't live in silence.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Yeah.
Licensed clinical social worker Kelly Kitley, thank you so much. And if you or someone you know is struggling with a sexual assault, please contact the national hotline at 800-656